Before we focus in on what he just said, because there's kind of a lot to unpack there, I'm blurring all my days of the week because it's between Christmas and New Year's. He actually said that Wednesday, not yesterday. Anyways, now, what do you make of what Aaron Rodgers just said? Because to me, a lot stood out.
I'm not sure what stood out to you, but I liked what he said. No, seriously, I liked what he said. He was very clear. He said, I'm focused on this year. I'm enjoying my time with my teammates. I'm having fun. I love the ability to be out there and compete. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm not going to drag it out. For me, he was abundantly clear. He was very clear on where he is now and very clear on what will happen in the future. The clarity was he doesn't know yet, but he also did say he will decide quickly. And so at the end of the day, Green Bay's 12-3 right now. They're number one in the NFC right now. They're taking care of them right now. And so people asking about the future, he gives his response. He doesn't know yet, but he did say he will not be a huge distraction come into the season.
Do you agree with that, Mike T? I feel like all we hear about all the time is Aaron Rodgers. What's he doing? What's he not doing? Now he's telling us. Sam says it's no big deal. Do you?
Yeah, I see it differently because he's a very smart, very measured, very calculating person. And everything he says is with a purpose. All he really needs to say right now is like, we're focused on having a great practice today, one day at a time, and I'll only talk about the offseason after this year. Because I promise you, like Tom Brady, certainly in Tampa Bay, their focus is day to day. So Aaron Rodgers controls the narrative. I know he's going to get asked a lot, but as a leader of the team, he should just be able to, the classic Coach Belichick, we're on to Cincinnati, like one day at a time, and we'll deal with the offseason when we get there. And to me, by being the leader, he could tamp things down more so than anybody else.
But Mike T, he's not Bill Belichick. He's Aaron Rodgers, right? Like that's what we love about Aaron Rodgers is the fact that he is so brash and he is so confident and he says what's on his mind. He's not afraid of anybody. That's what we love about him. And also some people hate that about him. But at the end of the day, it's him. It's who Aaron Rodgers is. And so for us to say that he should be saying, well, next question, or well, I'm not going to answer that. That's not what makes Aaron Rodgers Aaron Rodgers. What makes Aaron Rodgers is the fact that he's going to tell you exactly what he thinks, exactly how he feels. We saw it in the preseason when he talked about ownership, talked about who he wants on the team, guys that the team let go. He's going to tell you, think about guys in his locker room. He tells them, hey, what route to run, how to do it better. That's how him and Devontae Adams have such a great relationship. And so for me, and probably for guys on that team, this is Aaron Rodgers. And if it's going to be a little bit of noise in the background for us to be 12-3 and number one in the NFC, then I'll take the noise. But I don't want him to change and start saying, well, next question, I don't want to talk about it. Because at the end of the day, that's not who he is.
Jeremy, what do you think about all this?
Right, but here.
Oh, go ahead, Mike T. Finish your thought. Go ahead.
Yeah. I understand that. Here's the difference, though. He's a leader. He can handle the distractions. He's a very smart, again, very calculated player. However, the younger players are going to listen and hang on every word he says. And there's a lot of players that have to stay as focused as possible. And that's why, as a leader, of course, be yourself. Do whatever you want in the offseason. There's a time and a place. But everything he does is going to be followed by his 52 teammates. And all they should be concentrating on is winning a championship this year. And then everything else takes care of itself.
Jeremy?
Well, I'm a reporter. I love honest answers. I'm always going to take a potential headline over anything else. But I will trace to some of the good vibes going on in Green Bay. I was told that the front office feels very good about their communication with Aaron Rodgers dating back to when he reported to training camp. They played this perfectly. They let him come in his own time. They didn't rush him. They let him vent publicly when he needed to. And then they got to work on including him in more conversations, whether it's about the roster or the direction of the franchise. The team in the locker room has a renewed spirit the moment he came back. And so we don't know what he's going to do this offseason. I'm not going to predict that. Only he knows. But there at least is a feeling there that those good vibes can't be undersold. I'll say that. And, he's got a $46 million cap hit that they can massage with some, good creative math. And so, there are possibilities here at least.
I feel like the fact that he said he's not going to drag this out throughout the offseason, because let's be honest, if he's going to another team, he needs to figure out who's giving him money, where he's going, how much space they have, who's he going to be surrounded by. That just tells me everything is predicated on how they do this postseason and how everything shakes out between management and everything else within the locker room and within that organization. I mean, that's it.
And Shay, I don't even think he knows. Like, to your point, I don't even think Aaron Rodgers knows what he's going to do at the end of the season. So much is predicated on what happens in the playoffs, right? If you go and you win a Super Bowl this year, that probably changes things. You've already seen the organization, for lack of better terms, rally behind you, bring in Randall Cobb. He talked about how the organization has been listening to him and having him involved in conversations around who they bring in and who they don't during this current season. So we've seen that pay off. Now, if it pays off even more in the playoffs, now all of a sudden he might change his mind. So I don't even think he knows yet what he's going to do in the future. That's why he gave his honest answer of, well, I'll give you an answer pretty soon after. But the other thing is, we talk about honest answers and all that is great and important, but we're the ones who keep on asking, right? Like in the locker room, I played 9 years. I'm not listening and looking and finding out what people said in the media. It doesn't matter to me, even if it's the quarterback, even if it's our star player. It doesn't matter. What matters is what you do at practice, what you do at the games, on the football field. And so for me, it's less about, well, he said this in the media and I'm a younger player and I'm distracted. I don't look at that. I look at what he does when we're winning. And right now, we're winning.
Do you guys agree with what he's saying?
Yeah, somewhat, but I want to go back to Jeremy's point, which is how the front office feels, which is if I'm the Packers, I'm recruiting him every day, and the way you do that is you make him feel part of the decision-making process. And let's be clear, he is not the GM, but if you feel strongly about Randall Cobb, tell us why. It's okay, and then make the best decision for the team. But by recruiting him every day from a front office perspective, you're maximizing your chances of keeping him next offseason.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.